Gotta love when I get interrupted every fucking time I try to make these videos. You know, Run and DMC were alternating bullhorns. Larry Smith produced the record. He codified Noise's rhythm. The DMX drum machine, stabbing synths, Jam Master Jay's turntables, Melly Mel's poetic social commentary into a blunt worldwide edict. They also reinvented a dethroned rock and roll. So they were here to say, you know what, rap is the new rock and roll. Oh, wow, I like this. Big Daddy Kane, Long Live the Kane. This is another good entry. They're putting all the 80s classic albums. This is nice. Raw has some good, Raw has some good bars on it. It's been his classic debut, doing a lot of, like, tearing shit up. Antonio Hardy was the deadliest wordsmith of the golden age, every MC's favorite MC. He inspired a lot of the 90s rappers, right? Made his name with the Juice Crew and Queensbridge. High school homie, longtime friend Biz Markie and him worked together. Kane Ghost wrote the Biz's first hits. That shows how much of a legend he is. He claims his crown on this album. Marley Marl, man, Marley Marl is so underappreciated, man. He produced some of the best hip-hop albums of the 80s and beyond. 80s and 90s, dude. He played such a big role in the hip hop scene then, man. Shout out to Marley Marl. You know, he crushed the competition. Lethal, Warp Speed, Wordplay. Ain't No Half Steppin's a good song. Yeah. Big Daddy was slaying back then. Okay, another Kanye West record. I like this. Late Registration, another album from the College series. I am very, very excited to see what Rolling Stone continues to put on here. We're on a roll. We got some really good albums up on here. I'm impressed, man. I really like what they're doing. There's an entire population currently in their 20s who remember seeing the music video for Gold Digger for the first time when they were kids, but that's not the moment on the album I give a damn about, really. Whatever. The lead single from Kanye West's sophomore album brought the poignant, sample-flipping virtuoso to the masses and set the stage for one of rap's most undeniably brilliant runs. I don't know what you mean by setting it up. He already had a run with College Dropout, and he came back and hit with another 1-2 punch with Late Registration. On this album, Kanye's hubris hadn't yet calcified in his image. He was hungry because of how great he knew he was, and he was hell-bent on proving it. This is what I'm saying. Like, some of rappers' first albums, you know, most rappers decline as they go. Like, that's a normal progression in hip-hop, because Kanye was so hungry. He had this vision, and obviously he's a very visionary guy, and he has a lot of things set up with fashion brands and stuff like that, but oh my gosh, back then he really had the vision, man. He knew exactly what to do. He got the ball. He wasn't planning on fumbling it anytime soon. The result is a once-in-a-generation record that today's millennials will be sharing with their grandchildren. I know I will. Wow, I love this record. Okay, another good album. Here we go. Dr. Dre, The Chronic. We're going to start just knocking these very well-known albums. This is the first album released by Death Row and Interscope. Landscape changing, swelling synthesized bass lines, parliament samples, ruckus anthems became the trunk-rattling standard for West Coast gangsta rap. Trampoline beats, charismatic writers. A then unknown Snoop Doggy Dogg made an appearance on this record. Multiple. The Chronic was brisk, concise, memorable on release. 30 years later, any songs on the record with Dre Day or Nothing But a G Thing or D's Nuts can still get heads nodded with hypnotized affection because, among other things, this album remains one of the best party records of all time. You start playing Nothing But a G Thing in the club, everyone, including people of all ages, are going to be going crazy. Like, it's so memorable. It's so iconic. Shout out to Dr. Dre. This album is fantastic. Moving on to number 39. Hell yeah, Lil Wayne with the Carter 3. Dude, now that I think about it, I like the Carter 2 and the Carter 1 better than the Carter 3, but this is a very, very acceptable thing of theirs to do. This is their third album in the Carter series. Was not the No Holds Barred Rhyme Fest heard on the deluge of mixtapes spilling from the guy everyone was calling the greatest rapper alive. It was something else entirely. 3 milli, 3-peat, dizzying showcases of peak Wayne. Amelia's fire. But the album also brought Wheezy the pop alien, Wheezy the sex symbol, and Wheezy the industry game changer. You know, he definitely branched off more on this album than he ever would before, getting in the pop lane, getting in the love songs. Yeah, the prescient Woozy Lollipop would almost single-handedly drag hip-hop into the autotune era. I don't know about that. I kind of disagree. There were definitely a lot more elements that helped. He still loved off-kilter metaphors, of course, and insane rhyme gymnastics, but the Carter 3 showed he still loved hooks. Of course, he appreciates everything about the music. Kensley is just smacking shit on the ground. Oh, hell yeah. Oh my god, let's go. Rolling Stones, man. They're making up for it. This is really, really high, though. He should be, like, honestly, top 20. But we got Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City. I think we're going to see one more Kendrick album on this list. Again, I'm super, super hyped and stoked to see what they put on this list. You know, Kendrick Lamar channeled eons of trauma and knocked it out the park on his classic debut, which is Bompton's equivalent to Black Boy. Like a millennial Richard Wright, the future Pulitzer winner poeticizes pain on the claustrophobic title track, describing a murder he witnessed in his youth in a fake nervous whine that makes the hair stand up on your neck. It is pretty, like, goosebumps inducing. Like, it is chilling, some of the stuff that goes on in this record, but it's so good for that. The Art of Peer Pressure is a riveting Bildungsroman, in which being young, black, and impoverished means making bad decisions. Being young in general means making bad decisions, but when you're put in the situation that Kendrick Lamar was put in Compton, it gets even worse. One of these kids is doing his own thing. He just happens to be this generation's greatest rapper. Of course, man. I'm not going to deny that at all. This is a really good album. He witnessed his first murder when he was 5, which is insane. But yeah, let's move on. Okay, this is another pretty solid album. I'm not mad at this at all. Is it better than the Kendrick album? Probably not. But we got Rayquan, Only Built for Cuban Links. I'm not mad at this. The Wu-Tang Empire reached the glorious heights in the mid-90s, spinning off classic solo joints from Old Dirty Bastard and Jizza. But Rayquan's Mob Epic towered over them all. No, it didn't. No, let's just move on. No, it didn't. 36, we got Chance the Rapper with Acid Rap. I actually have that in the background. I don't think you guys can see it. Wow, okay. The crown jewel of the blog era. This album made Chance the Rapper worthy of the inescapable hype that followed its release. You know, him linking up with Kanye. All kind of sprouted out of this album here. I mean, this album's fantastic. I mean, no one was rapping like Chance. That's debatable. No one was equal parts poetic and playful. Okay, I get that. No one was as brash and as melodic like his idol Kanye's College Dropout. His breakout mixtape traverses very silly thoughts, very hopeful themes. Yeah, I can see that comparison. And very real fears with an intense and at the time unparalleled musicality. You can feel Chance's commitment to his community, his family, his joy, and most importantly, his art throughout. My God, I hope he makes a comeback. This album is too legendary for him to just end his career as is. He needs more, man. He needs to build his legacy. Here we go. Snoop Doggy Dogg was his name at the time. I mean, we got Doggystyle. This is another one of those classics, another one of those grails from the 90s that people are talking about. Huh? You know, the Doggystyle sessions. You know, Dre integrated a revolving door of rappers, singers, live musicians into an audaciously swinging, digitally contoured, crushed velour tapestry of blaxploitation funk. With Snoop's slithery, sly flow, the album eventually went 11 times platinum, which is insane, while the Chronic's X-rated gun claps wafted through the haze of the LA uprising. Doggystyle was a scandalous, bong-ripped after-party. That's a good way to put it. Sugar Hill Records story? Not familiar. Sorry. Who's on this? Let me see here. Sugar Hill Gangs, of course. Yeah, Rapper's Delight. That's a legendary song. I don't see how this album is like super iconic though. De La Soul. This is probably their best record. This is a very interesting placement